My name is Derek Root. I'm trying to kind of talk to you about a project that we've got going on. My little brother tragically passed on June 6, 2025, just a couple months ago, in a completely avoidable car accident. He had a 1995 Mitsubishi 3000 GT, and he had big plans for it. He wanted to, so it's an SL, so it's a 3-liter naturally aspirated 5-speed manual, and he wanted to convert it to a VR4, so it would be twin turbo, all-wheel drive, and we're going to keep the 5-speed. And he's no longer here to finish that, so me and my dad and my brothers are going to take that over, and we're going to see that it's finished in honor of him. We've already taken it to a few events that he was supposed to take it to. We took it out to Hallett Racetrack out near Tulsa, July 13th. So, I mean, that car made 35 laps easy, and it did great. It held up good. And he had recently, before he passed, had pulled the engine out and resealed the whole top end and put it back in. And he's not a mechanic, so it was impressive that he was able to do that on his own. And so when we took the car out to Hallett, he had just done that, and it held up great. So I'm proud of him for that. And then just last weekend, we took it to a King of the Open Road event at Tulsa Raceway Park. We took that car, I think I drove that car down the drag strip 5 or 6 times. It held up great. It was slow, but it's stock. And, I mean, it held up great, though. We did have a bit of an issue. I've got it up here at the shop where I work now. I usually pull it in and lock it up at night. And when I pulled it in last night, I noticed I had a oil trail leading right to where the car was. So I went ahead and racked it up, took a look. I can see it dripping down. So the next morning, start the car up. It's not leaking, doesn't leak at idle. Rev it up a little bit, it just starts pouring out of what looks like the crank seal. So the plan was we have another Hallett event coming up in November. We wanted to get the all-wheel drive conversion done before November so we can take it out to the track, test everything out, make sure everything works good. And now I got this oil leak. I'm hoping it's just a crank seal. That's what I think it is. We'll see for sure. So hopefully the plan for that is still on. Do the all-wheel drive conversion, test it around Hallett, and then after November, we pull the engine, send it off to paint and body, and start building the VR4 drivetrain to put in when it comes back. So that's kind of where we're at. This is the car here, 1995 3000 GT in Denali Blue, SL. Got a little bit of rough spots on the body. We're for sure going to have to get a driver's door. But we've got to hook up on parts for that. Shout out to Jared Holt for that one. Thank you. But yeah, as you can see, we've got oil on our timing belt here. So the plan is to come in tomorrow, tear that bottom timing cover off, and just see where it's coming from. Like I said, I'm assuming that it's going to be a crank seal. That's what it's looking like to me. So I'll do some more recording tomorrow as I'm tearing it apart. Okay, so the plan was to come up here yesterday and do this, but I got tied up with some stuff at home. So it's now Sunday, August 10th, and we're going to tear this timing cover off and see if we can find out where this leak is coming from. Also got this guy here, so hopefully y'all will be able to see what I see while I'm working here. There we go. All right. That's up. Break it. You know that? Alright, that should be 11:14. 12:14. Maybe. There you go. Let there be light. Oh, I see. Looks like a ½ inch might fit in there. Okay. This is going to be a power steering belt. May get a new one. Had a lot of coolant and oil leak onto this one. Set it here for now. Alright. Okay, let's get a extension. got this. 21. Not quite sure. Maybe 19. Oh no, 22. Oh. Straight over. Set her down in there. We're about ready to start getting this cover off of here. I have to drop that mount. Let's go ahead and get a jack to support the engine just in case. Somewhere around here. Got a lot of crap everywhere. There we go. All right. Weird angle, sorry. $17. There we go. So probably a 16 there. Let's grab one. And a ratchet. Snap on or Matco? Snap on. 16. Might be a 17, guys, actually. Ah, it is. And we're actually a little, might not have enough room for that. Let's grab something else. 17, wrong drawer, I'm an idiot. 17, there we go. Got a little bit of a lip on it so we can get on the nut there, but not too far out to where we're hitting other things. Sit that there for a minute. Alright, we get a magnet guy going here. And let's get the old snappy 1/4 inch. Green light, go, go. Oh, I think I got it. I think we do. Yeah. Hell yeah, stuck them down. Hell yeah, why not? There we go. What's up, boo? Oh man, just go all down there. Let us see. We got to get this balancer pulley off. That's what we got to do. 22. Already got over here. Let's hope to God it's not super cranked down so we can zip it off here real quick. And let's hope it doesn't move too much because that's going to change our, yeah. There we go. All right. It's pretty easy. These balancers usually fight a little more than that. Oh yeah, what a mess. And we got our dowel to line us back up right there. Boom, bang, boom. And we are lined up on the crank too. So in theory, when we get all this done, just slap the new belt on with the new tensioners, and it's already all at top dead center, and we're good to go. Get out of here. Up and down, up and down. Up and down. That's alright. It is what it is. Back up a little up. Back up. That is one. Well, maybe we'll do. Oh, yeah, we'll stop. Well, that's somewhere. Got it. Yeah, see, we got some rubbing going on. Well, the belt was loose when I first got the car, so it may have chattered and rubbed through a little bit there. All that oil, should be no oil in there. Okay. Take a look. Wilbur. Well, might be a cam seal, huh? A little wet up there. We're very wet. Yeah, so you got that water pump leaking there. There's that crank sensor not looking very healthy there. We'll probably go ahead and get a new one. Famous last words, while I'm already here, might as well. Anyways, let's go ahead and, we're gonna have to get the timing belt, pulleys, tensioner out of here, because we're gonna have to do a water pump. So we are gonna have to take this pulley and mount off. Possibly the alternator, at least the top mount of the alternator, to get all this out of here. Well, let's get this belt off and get me a closer look at that crank seal. Yep. take a break. I'll be back. Okay, we're back. Evac the AC system so I can remove a DC line from the top here so I can get the mount and the alternator out of the way. All right. Get our hoses all untangled here. Push this guy out of the way for now. Got the charger hooked up to the light, so we have some light up here. Alright, now we're going to get down in here and get that bolt for this AC line out. And probably just go ahead, pull this whole line out of the way. A couple 12s, nothing crazy. I think I've already got my 12, yep. Just grab an extension and our 3/8. Well, we had a 12 out. What do we do with it? Good thing we got more than one. Find it later. Not supposed to use chrome sockets on impact, but oh well. We'll have a little bit up. There we go. Ooh, we're a little, not too bad, a little cross-threaded there. AC hardware. Nope. It's alright. Look at this. What do we got here? bottom. So we can just get up in here. Come on, baby. Yeah, come on. There we go. All right. Back to it. Do it. This way. Jeez. We're getting awfully close to that line, hopefully. We got enough room to clear it. Get this guy out of here. Yeah, we do not. We have to take this bracket off here. She's only got one bolt holding it on. Okay. That's alright. Let's see if we can get this guy in there. Supposed to have two. Got a missing one. Oh, it's broken. Christian! It's alright, man. I'll fix it. It happens. He didn't have a whole lot of time to get that stuff going. He was trying to get it, you know, ready for all the events that he had coming up. So, that's alright. Not a big deal. got some experience getting broken bolts out. Okay. We still might not have enough room here. I think we're gonna have to take this bracket off separately, then we should be able to get it out of there. Got some water in there. Careful with the radiator. Yeah. Yeah, we got some water in there. Okay. Those two bolts out right there. And then all the mount bolts that bolt this mount to the block. And then we can get the belt out of here. So, Alright, we'll go back together and put this on last so we don't have to find that front cover like we did coming out. Ooh, I wish they were a little faster. Alright. Bigger than the others. Different size. Wonder why. Ooh, we're gonna. There we go. There we go. Careful with the cam gear. Big one, another one. Ta-da! Alright. Let's get this belt out of here. Yeah, we got oil everywhere. Sorry about that. Come on, baby. What are you doing? What are we doing here? We're stuck on the master cylinder. There we go. There we go. All right. We are. Look at that oil covered. Okay. Alright, yeah, that water pump's leaking good. I mean, not good, but... Are we missing a bolt there? Maybe. Alright. Get it back up. Check out that crank seal. Come on, baby. Alright. Got our timing tensioner pulley here. Alright. There's a lot of oil in there. Oh, that gasket. He did reuse that gasket. That's alright, we'll get a new one. That's why we're leaking. Oh, look at those crusties. Hope you can see that. Well, we are definitely leaking from that crank seal there. Got a lot of oil coming out of that bolt hole for the tensioner too, though. Oh wow, didn't even notice that. There's our broken bolt head, probably from that alternator bracket. Okay. Okay. Well, wow. Okay. What if I could scope that? See what's going on in there. Kind of clean some of the oil out of that hole and these are sweet. If y'all haven't got any or seen them before, these things are awesome. You got air? No air. Pretty sweet. Grab the bore scope. We got oil coming out again. Oh no. Oh, that's no good. See it running? Man. Looks like this is a little rear cover here. Have to pull that whole deal off there. Oil cooler. Well, that's going to be it for today. We've got the bottom timing cover, all the timing components, belt, crank gear, tensioner, pulleys, all out of there. You can see for sure that that crank seal is leaking, but it looks like we have a rear cover there. Might have some gasket leaking by through one of the bolt holes for the timing belt tensioner. So as of right now, we're gonna get online, order us a timing belt kit with a new water pump and crank seal, probably get cam seals too, and we're gonna go from there. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching.